Time of the meetup where we like to highlight either a web app or a mobile app that isn't necessarily an enterprise grade app, but rather being business professionals in New York, this is something that can be handy for you. So I'd like to call up Josh Crandall of Clever Commute. Clever Commute, while you're setting up, is a free service that distributes updates sent by hundreds of riders on New Jersey Transit, as well as the Long Island Railroad and Metro North Railroad, about train and bus delays that they're witnessing firsthand. So this is crowdsourced information that can make your mornings or evenings a little less stressful.
Thank you so much. Let's see if we can get this going.
Oh, and by the way, for anyone standing in the back, there's some seats around if you want to. Feel free to sit down.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try to keep it to 10 minutes, right? So let me set my own timer so I can keep track of that. Step one, as they say, is to know your audience. So can people just give me a show of hands? Anybody have the pleasure of being Metro North, New Jersey Transit, Long Island Railroad, suburban bus commuters? Not a ton, huh? Okay, all right, shy people. Okay, so this will resonate, and for the rest of you, I'm very envious because this was not something that I woke up one day saying I think I'm going to invent. So my name is Josh Crandall, and Clever Commute is my thing. Sorry, I just start from the beginning. Come on. Okay. Somewhat by accident, in 2006, as a frustrated suburban commuter, I created a very informal network of the guys that I knew from my train platform in New Jersey. And I said, remember, this is back in the BlackBerry days. This was a very cool thing to have mobile email. And I said, hey, can I get your email address? Can I get your email address? They looked at me kind of funny, but it was born with five of us, a loose affiliation of people. And we said, we're just going to share information when there's problems with the commute. Things happen, and we'll talk about what happens, but it's not a linear A to B kind of ride. Started then with 5 guys. We're up over 20,000 people today. The community came first, and then we figured out the technology grew the network by people trusting each other. The business model is still evolving, and I'm going to talk about that in some of the other slides. But at its core, it is a platform, no pun intended, to allow people to share real-time information about the commute. That's the core product, but we found other opportunities to grow beyond that. But the neat thing is we add a little bit of technical know-how so that the data is filtered, duplicates are eliminated, profanity is screened out. The data is somewhat curated. There's a concept of reputation management. So it's not a Wild West. It's actually a pretty well-heeled community. And part of that is due to the demographic that we serve. You see the transit providers are starting to get into this space. They're embracing mobile technology. They're embracing crowds, and that's great. We welcome them. They do things that we don't do. Like, we don't run trains, and I don't think that they're really going to replace a crowdsourced approach. Nobody else is doing this in any kind of scale. Every once in a while, point solutions pop up, but we'll talk more about where we're operating and you'll kind of get a feel for it. People who commute know this stuff. There are equipment problems, facilities problems, acts of nature, emergencies of all kinds. People are people, so things happen, unruly passengers, et cetera, et cetera. And we also found a neat opportunity in crack numbers. Anybody who stands around at Penn Station waiting for their train to be called and then runs like animals to go down shoots. It's terrible. So again, the core product is a place to share information. The track number notifications are kind of born out of that. We provide that a few different ways. Again, started with BlackBerry. Apps have absolutely come on strong, but as an emerging company, it's a little hard to get the funding and the technical approach and to pick a player and pick a winner. iPhone's a natural choice, and we're headed there. But for now, we offer email-based delivery, mobile web browser, Twitter delivery, and our app is in beta. Hopefully within a month's time, we'll have our Android version out. It'll be followed closely by an iPhone version. And the neat thing is, did I say it up there? Yes, HTML5. So it should be, we're expecting to be a port, not a rewrite. The interesting thing, speaking of the business model, though, is we are also offering some premium services via subscription, and we're delivering that just over the public web. So the business, which I'd imagine people are interested in as well, we do something interesting. We take the information that the commuters are sharing and turn that into a real-time data feed and license that to news organizations. So if you are fans of WCBS radio, you will hear them do their traffic and transit reports, and you'll periodically hear them say, clever commute reports that Metro North is experiencing troubles on any given time. They're actually great partners. We also help partners like CBS understand things that are happening in the transit domain, because we have 20,000 people who are acting as eyes and ears for us. We also offer a B2C advertising solution. So for our free product, we place an ad on it. Madison Square Garden is a great client of ours. So you get the ad, you get the message that says sick passenger on the 522, and then it says come see Cirque du Soleil at the Good City Music Hall. It's real. So and the demographic that we hit is just incredible. You guys, the guys who raise your hands, you make a lot of money, and you're really well educated, and you're kind of handsome. So. There's a lot of opportunity. It's a growth story. At its core, it's the big three commuter rail lines. No doubt those are big. In other parts of the country, there's opportunity, and we are there to some degree. But don't kid yourself. Metro North, New Jersey Transit, Long Island Railroad are the big three. Chicago's got a big one, and then things kind of fall off a cliff after that. So again, the business model is, we're headed towards kind of your classic freemium. The expectation is when the mobile app comes out, it will be free. We want to build a lot of subscriber base, and then look to upsell and provide premium services. The same premium services that we provide through the web today will migrate into the app. So from the B2C community, we enable the messages. We're actually enabling the Twitter feeds and rolling out the mobile app. And then again, on the business side, it's a licensing model. Folks like CBS actually take the feed and not only look at it in a browser or a viewer, they actually pipe it into their newsroom software. So it's an incredible opportunity, and not necessarily something I thought I would be doing 6 years ago when I just collected a few email addresses from my buddies. The one thing that I think we did right from the start was just get the architecture right. Technically, the same thing it's basically the same technical approach that we started in 2006 is what is supporting us today, but the numbers just keep growing up and it's scaling nicely. That's kind of the story. I think I've got just about 2 minutes left, so I can just show you some of the features. Now again, this is stuff that we're currently delivering over the mobile web, so it doesn't matter if you have a BlackBerry or an Android or an iPhone. You fire up your browser, and if you're New Jersey Transit people, anybody New Jersey Transit? This is the departure board at Penn Station right now. So this is, for example, we'll tell you, hey, Penn Station's going to be crowded tonight because there's a Mets game, and so you'll see a bunch of, how do we say, enthusiastic fans walking around. You're not necessarily going to change your commute because of that, but I think people just like to know. And we also say, okay, here's the departure board. Currently, New Jersey Transit is actually feeding us track information before it's announced on the monitors. Not sure how long they're going to continue to do that, so I don't want to oversell it. But there's one thing that we definitely do provide, and this is kind of neat. If you think that your train's going to be on track 3, you can actually click through, and we'll show you the history of what track and train. This can give you a real sense of comfort because it's a prediction game. People who do this know exactly what we're talking about. And if you don't, I hope that you never do. It's this kind of thing that really helps just take the stress out of the commute. It's knowing what to expect, knowing where your train is, and positioning yourself. So let me just kind of give you some real examples. This is, again, a different slice of it. This is kind of a browser that shows you, less than a minute left. I don't want the egg timer to go off. So this shows you, this is what's happening tonight. And you'd be amazed, something happens every day on the commute. So whether if you ride Metro North, for example, if you look at the New Haven line, this was, 5 minutes ago, right? June 19th, 7:03 p.m. Grand Central Terminal to New Haven stopped at Park Avenue Viaduct. I highly doubt that MTA shared this information because no, in all seriousness, they have service level agreements and they have posted policies about they only share information when it's known to have an impact, and the impact is more than 15 minutes. So unless they know that, they don't share it. And that's their position, and I respect it. The commuters, especially in today's age, are ready to accept less official data because it gives them an edge and it gives them a sense of comfort. So we can browse this. This actually, m.clevercommute.com, is available to anybody and everybody. Go out and use it. It's there. One nice thing that we also did when you talk about kind of orthogonal businesses. Anybody who rides the New Haven line knows that they have a bar car. And anybody who knows that they have a bar car knows that it's not always in the same place every day. So it's true. It's true. So if you're trying to plan your trip home and meet someone at the bar car, Clever Commute will tell you that today these are the trains that have a bar car. So I'm having a ball with this. It's growing like crazy and exceeding my expectations, and I'm happy to talk with you here. I'll stay up here all night. But I think questions. But I can take 2 questions before I have to go. Yes, sir.
I really love that you started with the community first, and then built up the business afterwards. Is there anything, knowing that, is there anything you would have done differently?
That's a good question. Would I have done it differently? I don't even want to think about it, to be honest. No, seriously, because this feels kind of right to me. I did it and then figured out the business. And I worry about businesses that say, I've got an idea for a business, and they invest in building an app, and they don't even know if it's going to work. I'm arguably exactly opposite that problem, which I'm not thrilled about, but that's kind of where I am. Hi, I think you had a question as well.
Yeah, I know in Boston they opened up, the MBTA opened up their subway data so that developers could develop geolocation apps, for MTAs.
Yeah, so the question is, to what extent does the MTA and the transit providers here provide transit data? And the MTA, which is Long Island Railroad, Metro North, and the subways and buses, have done a fantastic job of embracing the developer community. But a lot of what they provide is kind of static data about where are the stations and facilities, a little bit of the dynamic stuff. To New Jersey Transit's credit, that's what they've done here. So it's happening. Mass transit is very sexy. Suburban commuter rail, not as much. And it's probably just because of the number of zeros. Millions and millions of subway riders, a million-ish train riders. So, I'd be happy to talk more, but I'm getting the hook. So thanks.